So this one I have done, this one I have done, sleep, you have seen. From where we will start. Okay, so can we start a thread twice? Can we start the same thread twice? You have done, so you have done thread 1 dot start, again you will do thread 1 dot start. Can you do that? Got it what my question is? Okay, so what I'm going to say is, I have done something like thread equal to new thread, then you are starting. Okay, so we are having all the runnable or whatever thing we have done. Okay, and you are doing thread dot start. You are writing once again. So you are trying to start the same thread twice or maybe multiple times. Got it right? So is it possible, or we are having some problem? Is it possible? Is it possible? Okay, let's try to see. Okay, so okay, so what I'll do is I will try to start this thread one once. That is the question. Okay, now it is, whenever it will run it, what will happen? It will throw one of the exception. What is the exception? Is illegal thread state exception. So let's try to run this code. What is coming? Illegal thread state exception. What is the one? Illegal thread state exception. So this is the exception. Okay. So what is the exception? It will throw illegal thread state exception. This is running, but again because of this, your application will crash. Okay, it will, because it is in background, right? So it will keep on running. The other thing will keep on running. Okay, so what is the exception we will get? Illegal thread state exception. Okay, so can we start the same thread more than once? Can we start the same thread more than once? Can we start the same thread more than once? No. Why no? Because it will throw, what is the exception? Illegal thread state exception. Illegal thread state exception. Okay, so this is one of the one which is okay. Now the second question is, can we call run method directly? Okay, so what I will say is, typically what happens, we are having this public class thread. Okay, thread 1 maybe, thread 1. If you are extending thread, then it will look like this. Okay, and it will have one of the method called run. Run method is there. If you want to call run method, what we do? We do something like thread equal to new thread. Okay, and what to do? You write something like thread dot, what is the method name? Start. So start is the method which automatically calls your run method. This is the typical way. I mean, which you have already seen: new state, then runnable. Okay, running. Then how runnable will come? When you do, we call this start method. My question is very simple. Can we use this run method here? Got the question, right? Because if you see, suppose if I'm having some sort of animal, okay, so I'm having some class called public class animal. Suppose animal is having one of the method called barking. Barking is the method which is inside animal. Now if you want to call barking method, we want to call this barking method, how do? We just use animal, we create the object, and after that what to do? We do animal dot barking, like this we'll do. So similar way, can we do, we are using start, can we use run here? That is the question. So can we do this? Can we do this? Okay. So yes, we can do. There is no problem. Okay. So now one small thing, observe very closely. What is the thing which you are getting over there? Okay. So suppose if I am running this, what I am doing? Thread 1 equal to thread 1 start. So what is the output I am coming? It is doing this 0 and then Shiva. Okay. So we will, for timing we will just remove this sleep. Okay. Let's run it. What is coming? All 0 to 99. All Shiva. So which thread is running this? Shiva thread. Okay. So how to identify whether it is background thread or foreground thread? If it is a foreground thread, what is the keyword you find? Main comes. If you remember first class. If something else is coming, means it is not your foreground thread. It is some background thread which is running. Okay. So now which thread is working now currently? This Shiva thread, because if you go here, we have given the name called Shiva. Now I'll remove it. I'll comment this code. And I'll write one of the method called run. Run method. What is the method name? Run. So do you have any compilation problem or syntax error? No, there is no problem, right? Otherwise it will come in red color. No? You cannot work with it. So now let's start to run this code. One small change. What is the change? Tell me. There is no Shiva. What is coming? Main. So is it starting any new thread? No. Got it, right? Got your answer also. Okay. So what is the answer? Yes, we can call. Yes, we can call run method directly from the object, same as other objects. Right? Other objects will have some method, so we will same as other objects. Something like animal is calling barking or any other method. Okay, so but it won't spawn a new background thread. Okay, it will not start a background thread. It will be running in the same thread. Okay, so it will be running in the main thread. Okay, main thread or UI thread. So we can call run method directly, but object from object same as your other objects. Okay, but it will not start a new thread. Where it will work? It will run in the main thread only. Okay, so that's all. So we can, but the call stack will remain same. It will behave like any other normal methods. It is not starting a thread. Okay, it will be running in your main thread only. Okay, normal call, the normal call which we have, right? That will be working fine, no problem at all. let's try to talk about one of the concept called join. What is the concept called join? Okay, so what does join means? What does join means? If I ask you, okay, please join me in Domino's. Domino's every day they have one by one offer, right? One by one. Most of the day they should do there. Whenever Bandi will be there, when nobody will go, they will have offer. Okay. Okay. So they will not keep this offer on Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Now, if I ask you, please join me in Domino's, what does that mean? That means I am going Domino's, please follow me. You come beside me. Okay. So similarly here also, if you are having multiple threads, okay, so T1, T2, T3. If T1 will tell, please join me, what does that mean? T1 will go first, will finish first, then T2 and T3 will come. Got what I am talking about? Okay. So something like so if I'll do something like T1 is a thread. If I'll do T1 that join, so what does that mean? T1 will go to Domino's first, I mean it will finish first, then other will come. Got it, right? So let's try to do one example, then it will be more clear. Okay. So suppose how many threads we are running currently? Let's try to create one more thread. So first one is Shiva, another is your Tapash. Okay, and we will start T1 thread and T2 thread. Both will start, and we will comment this run method. Okay, so if I run this code, what is happening? See, what is happening? See, jumbled. Shiva also, Tapas also. Shiva also, Tapas also. Shiva also, Tapas also. Shiva also. That means both are working parallelly. Now what I want to do, first Shiva should finish, then Tapas should start. So you want to elaborate, I mean you want to use your multi-threading also, plus you want to do this, I mean a sequential manner also. So in this case what you can do, you can do join. Okay. So how will you do? First let's try to go to thread, okay, and let's make this available sleep, because if you will not have sleep, then automatically both will be started, right? Then you might not get the order, exact order. Okay. So what I am doing, I am making this sleep for 500 milliseconds. Then what will happen? Our join will be called. Now if join is get called, what will happen? T1 will finish first, then T2. Okay. So we'll go over there. We'll go over there. Okay. So T1 dot started, T2 started. Okay. And what to do here? Thread 1 dot, you can have another method called join. Again, whatever methods are there inside thread, all will throw one of the exception called interrupted exception. Yesterday we have seen sleep method was throwing, right? So those are compile time exceptions. So now what to do? You have to handle it. Try catch block. Okay. Try catch block. Okay. Now let's try to run this code. What is happening? See what is happening? Shiva is going on, because I am having join on Shiva. As soon as Shiva will finish, then only Tapas will start. Why? Because Shiva is telling please join me. Means Shiva will finish first, then your other thread will start working. That is the concept of your join. Okay. So what is join? Join means the join method waits for a thread to die. I mean previous thread will die, then only your new thread will start. Okay. Then only the further thread will start execution. Okay. So what does join means? Join means other threads will be other threads will be waiting until the thread which called join is not died or destroyed. When the join who called join, when he will finish, then these people will keep on other threads will keep on starting. Okay, so this is the concept of join, very small concept. Yeah, these two we have already seen. What is the current thread? Current thread means you want to see whether main thread is working, Shiva thread is working, or Tapas thread is working. So how will you do? You have to anywhere in your code, whenever you want to see which is the current thread, what is the method we write? Tell me. Thread dot current thread dot get name. It gives me the thread name. Okay, so that's what is your current thread is the method by which you can get the reference of the currently executing thread. Okay, so what is current thread? So current thread is the method. What is current thread? So it method to get the current executing thread. So current thread is a method by which you can get your currently running thread, basically. Okay, executing your running thread. Okay. And how to give a name to a thread? Set name. Okay, set name, which we have already seen in the first class. And here you have to give the name in test or whatever name. If you will not give set name, then what will happen? JVM will automatically give you some number 0, 1, thread 0, thread 1, thread 2. Okay, so it will all will come. Okay, that's what. How to give a name to a thread? Set name is the method. It is used to change the name of the thread. Okay. Now, thread priority. Okay. Okay, so what is a thread priority? Something like if you are creating one thread, okay, and after creating you want to set the priority, whether it is high priority, whether it is low priority. Okay, so all those things you want to set, then we use one of the method called set priority, by which you can set your priority. Okay, but again, it does not mean that you will set the priority and JVM is very full. I mean, he'll come to know, oh, it is high priority, I'll do this first. No, JVM will see the internal implementation of your thread also. Whether you are just writing for loop, you are just writing one small for loop, we are having 0 to 99. It is a priority? No, it is not a priority. Got it? So JVM is very intelligent. It can go inside and check whether the priority which you are given is actually correct or not. Okay. So, but yeah, you can try your best. So you can just tell your JVM, hey, please, it is high priority, please take care of it. Okay. So how we do the priority? Thread dot set priority is the method which we use over there. set priority you do, okay, and we give some numbers over there, okay. So in it depends upon the operating system, okay, but in Java, okay, so there are three priorities. No, we can have many priorities also, but the scale will be from 1 to 10 or 5. I'm not sure. We'll check it. Now we can check it over there. This I'm not sure. 5 or 10. We can after. I will see after some time. Okay. So what the first one? Minimum priority, normal priority, okay, and high priority. These are the one. Minimum priority, normal priority, and high priority. Okay. So we write like this: thread dot min priority. Okay, thread dot normal priority. Okay, so if this one is 1, minimum is 1, then it would be your 5, and this will be your 10. Okay, if it is scale of 5, then what will be there? It would be 1, then it would be 3, okay, and this would be 5. Depends upon the scale, okay, and this scale based on the operating system. And you have to pass like this: thread dot something like, if it is high priority, then thread dot high priority, like this. Okay, you have to pass this variable. It is not mandatory to write thread dot high priority. If you know the exact scale, you can pass the scale also. Something like 7. 7 means more than normal, less than high. Got it, right? If I'll make it 2, what is 2? 2 means more than minimum but less than normal. I mean, in between you can have. So you can pass that integer value also, depending upon your requirement. Okay. So what we write here is thread dot set priority. So set priority is the method which we use. Okay, so how to write your priority? Go over your main class, write the priority dot set priority, like this you can write. Okay, if you want to have the priority, thread dot, you can write something, say max priority, that means maximum priority. Okay, if you want to see the scale, go over there, it should automatically tell you. If I don't have, I can copy it. Find max and x. See what is the one? 10. 10 is your maximum priority, normal priority is your 5, and your minimum is 1. 1, 5, 10. Okay, depending on the operating system. Maybe in Android the priority might be 1 to 5 also, 1 to 5. But here what is the one? This 1, 5, 10. Okay, so suppose you want to have 7 as your priority. What you do? Go over there and just make it to 7. That's all. Okay, but if you make it 7, you can hard code it. But the problem, what is the problem? You don't know the scale, right, of that operating system. Okay, so that might cause problem. Okay, so first you have to find the scale of your operating system, then you should note it down. You should write the code. Okay, reason. So that's what thread priority. Each thread will have on priority, minimum, normal, and maximum. 1, 5, 10. So if you make it max priority, JVM will try to finish that first. Okay, because it is of high priority. But again, it's not like normal way. It will check the internal things also. Okay. So now let's go and try to understand how many types of threads we have got. Okay, so types of thread. one is your main thread, second one is your background thread, okay, background or worker thread, okay, or the third one daemon thread. So these are the three types of threads which we have got. By default, where your code runs, main thread, okay. So when you do how to create a background thread, you do something like thread, okay, equal to thread, new thread, then start. So that means it will be running in your background thread, okay. That those two we have already understood, okay. Now let's try to talk about the daemon thread. So this is also called UI thread, okay. UI thread. This is background is nothing but your worker thread, and what is the last one, daemon thread. So let's try to understand this daemon thread today. So try to understand what is a daemon thread. What is a daemon thread? Okay, so DAE, daemon thread. So suppose I am working in my office, okay. So there will be some people who will be helping us, right? Who will give us some maybe tea, coffee, okay, or maybe if you are asking, please, I am shifting to my other place, please shift my laptop to that place. Correct, right? So there are some people who will be giving you some sort of services, okay. They are not working to your project or to your, whatever you are doing, but they are supporting you, right? Got my point, right? So similarly here also, your main thread is there, your background thread is there. There are some supporting factors also, they help them to work with your implementation, okay. Those supporting threads are nothing but daemon thread. Got it, right? So what is a daemon thread? Daemon threads are nothing but service provided to your main thread or background thread, okay. So what is a daemon thread? Note it down, please note it down. So what is a daemon thread? It is nothing but service provider to the main or background thread. Because they are service provided to the main or background thread. And your best example of your daemon thread is garbage collection. GC, okay, garbage collection or finalizer. We will see that while going through what is finalizer. Finalize what I mean. So try to understand, if you are doing something, suppose if you need memory, then who will help you? Garbage collection, right? So JVM will help you out to get some sort of memory out of your JVM, okay, wherever your memory is there, okay. So similarly here also, if you are not working, is it of any use to have garbage collection? No, okay. Similar to this, as I told, what happens, suppose we today is Bandh, so we are not going to office. Then as we are not going to office, is there any use of the people who are serving us? No. Got it, right? So if you are not going office, they will also not go office. Very simple. Okay. So similarly here also what happens, as soon as your main thread or background thread will die, automatically your daemon thread will also die. Got what my point is? Because it is of no use having daemon thread, right, if you don't have your main thread or background thread. Okay. So yeah, please note it down. So what is the this point? Okay. So if main thread or background thread dies, okay, daemon thread also gets destroyed by JVM automatically. It will automatically destroy it. Okay, so that's what is mentioned over there. See, what is daemon thread? It is a service provider to the thread that provides service to the user thread or any other threads which are available. When all the threads dies, JVM terminates these threads automatically. Okay, these are the least priority thread. Okay, so daemon threads are the least priority thread. Okay, daemon are the low priority thread. This is the low priority thread. Something like try to understand if there would be some sort of recession means company they don't have money to give you. Okay, then that time what they will do? No, yeah, you only go and get the coffee, right? Rather than somebody else will be giving you the coffee, so they will be fired. But it is similarly here also these are low priority thread. If some problems will come, then these are the first one which gets killed. Okay, so because main thread can work, for some amount of time. Okay, so without this also daemon thread also, that's why. Okay, so these are some sort of supporting threads as we discussed. Okay, so something like garbage collection and finalizer. Okay, so now how to make a thread daemon? Very simple. Okay, so we already have this thread equal to new thread blah blah blah. So here if you want to make it daemon, what we do, you use something like thread dot, we are having one of the method called set daemon. What we do, set daemon, and you just make it true. That's all. You can make your thread as daemon. What is the method name? Set daemon true. In your project, wherever you want to do this, set daemon true. Okay, so you go over there and see here, this is your thread 2. If you want to make it daemon, then what is the thread 2 dot set daemon. Set daemon is the method name which is there. Okay, and you just make it true. That's all. Set daemon true. So now what will happen? This thread 2 will become daemon thread. Okay, but again one small conditions apply. So if you go to any shopping mall, you got 30% offer, but you have to buy 10,000 rupees clothes. What is the use of buying 10,000 rupees, right? Okay, so similar to that, some star is there. Okay, so what is the star? We can make the thread daemon if it's not started. We cannot make the thread daemon. Before starting, you have to declare that this is the daemon thread. Okay, so it's something like, try to understand. You hired a person in your office. Okay, you hired him, and he is a very good software engineer. He knows everything, and you are telling him to please give tea to him, coffee to him. What will happen to him? Getting my point, right? Because so similar to that, you hire a person, but before starting his work, you have to define his task. Got it, right? So similarly here also, if you are making a daemon, yes, you can make it daemon. Then you can start the thread dot start, something like this. You can do, but you cannot do this. After starting, you cannot make it daemon. Before starting, it's okay. You tell you are low priority, you do all those stuff. Got it, right? So similar to this. Here it is okay. If you run this code, it is working. It should work fine. So all those things will be working fine. Okay, but if I'll do this, then it is not correct. So it should give us some sort of exception. So what is the exception? Because thread 2 is not started. Okay, so what we can do is, I can just where is our thread 1? We'll remove this sleeve. Okay, yeah, now let's see. Are you able to see here some exceptions are thrown? What is the one? Thread state exception, illegal thread state exception. And what is the problem? Set daemon unknown source. So you cannot set daemon after starting. You must do it before starting. So if you make it before this, then no problem. So there is no problem. correct, right? So if you want to declare a thread daemon, you must do before starting, you cannot do after that. So that is the point. So how to make a thread daemon? Set daemon is the method name, and we cannot make already started thread as daemon. You have to make it after before that only, you know? Okay, you can't make a thread daemon if it is already started. Okay, yeah. Now one of the concept is called shutdown hook. Shutdown hook. Okay, so try to understand. Okay, suppose if you are working in your application, okay, and suddenly power shutdown happened, power off, then what will happen? Your application will abruptly terminate, right? Your application will stop automatically and there will be some problems. Okay, so in those sort of crises, even if there is some problem, even if there is some crisis, you want to execute some code just before termination. Are you able to understand what I am telling? So those code we write inside your shutdown hook. Okay, those are very important codes. Something like if you are running your application, before closing you want to do something which is very important. It must be done, otherwise your application will not work properly. So those things we should put it in your shutdown hook. Okay, so how to put shutdown hook? Very simple. We use something like this. Okay, we write the code something like runtime. Okay, runtime we write runtime equal to runtime dot get runtime is the method which we use. Runtime get runtime. Okay, and runtime will have one of the method called runtime dot add shutdown hook, and here you have to pass the thread which you want to execute just before abruptly termination. You have to pass the object of that thread, the thread which you want to execute. So runtime get runtime, then runtime dot add shutdown hook is the method name, and you have to pass the thread which you want to execute. Okay. So in this case, suppose you want to execute this thread 1. You want to execute this thread 1 before abruptly termination. I mean, there will be some problem in your laptop, power off. You want to execute that just before that. Where your application is also running. So I will write the code. Tell me here runtime. Runtime equal to runtime dot get runtime. Okay, and you just pass runtime dot add shutdown hook. See, add shutdown hook is the method. You just pass a thread which you want to execute. That's all. These are the small 2 lines you have to write. Okay, so as soon as there will be some problem in your machine, automatically before finishing this thread will call automatically. Okay, so this is about your shutdown hook. Okay. Now what is garbage collection? Any idea? What is garbage collection? Before garbage collection, let's start to talk about garbage. What is a garbage? Unwanted things. Okay, so something like try to understand. Suppose if you go to you go to any bachelor's rooms, you will come to know what definition of garbage. Okay, very common. So now try to understand. Suppose if suppose I am a bachelor, okay, so yeah, I am a bachelor. Okay, but if we are here in this room, okay, so this is my room, I stay here, okay, and what I'll do, I'll eat banana, I'll remove and throw that particular whatever those outside part will be there, okay, and I'll eat biscuit, I'll throw that all those peppers. This is very common, okay. So now what happens? So what are those? Those are called garbage, okay. So similar to that in your programming also, okay. So you are doing some coding, you have created one variable, and you are not using it. Then what will happen? Those particular variables will take some space in your memory, right? Similar to that, at your home there are something which you are not using, okay, so it is just over there thrown. What are those? Are called garbage. Those are unwanted things, right? So similar to this in memory, the memory where which is getting wasted because of those unused variables are called garbage. Okay, so first we will talk about garbage, then we will talk about garbage. Okay, so what is a garbage? Garbage is nothing but unwanted, unused memory which is occupied by unnecessary variables or objects. You can variables means object only actually. Okay, so you understood what is garbage means. Okay, now what is garbage collection? What is garbage collection? Removing those garbage. So from your room, all those garbage, if somebody if I remove all those garbage and put it in the garbage collector, that is called garbage collection. Similarly here, so what is garbage collection? Removing garbage. Removing garbage is called garbage collection. Removing garbage to free memory. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about this very simple thing. Okay. In Java, I'll tell you two scenarios. You tell me which is good. Okay. So one scenario is you are at anywhere. Maybe you are at your home. Okay, and when you get up in the morning, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock or whatever time. Okay. This garbage, that garbage, you have to take that garbage, all those you carried, and you have to throw it outside. Okay, this is one way, first way. Okay, what is the second way? You are sleeping at your home. Okay, you are studying very deeply. Okay, you are working hard. Now what will happen? Somebody will come and they will remove those garbage, which is good. Second one is good, right? Okay, so Java works in that way only. Okay, C++ language, what will happen? It is programmer responsibility to collect the garbage. Okay, so you have to use some free or delete sort of methods in C++. Okay, but in Java, no need to do that. Automatically, whenever there will be some lack of memory, JVM will automatically free those memory. You no need to worry about. You concentrate on programming rather than thinking about the memory. This is the motive of Java basically. Got it, right? So garbage collection gets called automatically in Java, but yes, you can request JVM. Okay, so how to request JVM? We use one of the method called GC. Okay, so we write system dot system.gc is the method which gets called. Again, this request is not guaranteed. JVM will see you really need the memory or not. He is very intelligent. He can check, yeah, memory is required or not. If memory is required, then he will collect garbage. Otherwise, he will not. If he is busy in some expensive task or important task, he will not look into your request. But yeah, you can have a humble request to JVM basically. Okay. So what we understood here is what is garbage collection. So garbage collection is first talk about C++ language. Okay. So it's programmer's responsibility to collect garbage in C or CPP. Okay, what is the method we use? We use the two very free and delete. These are the very frequently used methods. Okay, in C++. Free or delete, these are the methods which we used. Okay, but in Java what happens? Programmer should concentrate on programming rather than thinking about memory. This is the motive of your Java. Okay, so that's why Java supports automatic garbage collection. Okay, so AGC. What is AGC? Automatic garbage collection. So Java supports automatic garbage collection. Okay, and who will do that? JVM will automatically do that. You don't need to worry about that. JVM will do that. Okay, but yeah, note it down. But we can have humble request to JVM for GC, okay, for garbage collection by using what is the method name? System.gc. We can give a request to JVM, okay, but it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. Okay, you can request, but if JVM is busy, then he will ignore your request. Okay, but it is not guaranteed. So this also sometimes in written test you will get, is system.gc guaranteed? Then your answer should be false. It is not guaranteed. You never know. Okay. So if you want to request something like this, you can write the code here, something like system.gc. That's it. Very simple code, system.gc. Okay. So if you want to see what this method is doing, move your cursor, it will automatically tell you. Okay. So see here, so runs the garbage collector. Okay. So it will somewhere internally it will tell you it is not guaranteed. Okay. Okay, so whichever method, if you want to see what is this set daemon, you move your cursor, it will automatically tell you what this set daemon method is doing. Some sort of help to the programmer basically, in Eclipse. Where will go? What is a thread? Okay, so this is your normal thread. Okay, so the set name, what it is doing, it will tell you all those things. Okay, move your cursor, you will get it. So that's what is over there. So garbage collection process of reclaiming the unused memory is called automatically. Okay, so free in C and delete in Java, C++. Finalize we'll discuss. GC method is used in Java. Neither finalization or garbage collection is guaranteed in Java. Who does it? JVM does it. Okay. Yeah, we will do this, then we will finish. Now one of the class is called runtime. So what is runtime? What is runtime? What is runtime? Okay, so in runtime we are having one of the method called exec. What is the method called? Exec. Exec means execution. So something like, let's start. I want to open Notepad from my program. Then how I'll do? I already have this runtime, right? So what I can do? I can write one of the method called runtime dot exec. What is the name? Exec. And Notepad is an internal application of my laptop, right? So this is a shortcut, not shortcut basically, this is one of the exe which will be present. Okay, it will ask you to do the try catch. Okay, so tell me IO exception is the example of your compile time exception. If you remember, we have already seen it in your serialization version. Okay, so now if I run this code, automatically what will happen? Notepad will be opening. Okay, so let's run this code. See, Notepad is open. So Notepad open. Okay, anywhere, whichever system application you want to open, what is the command we are having? Exec. So runtime dot exec. Exec is the command to execute any sort of exe file which is there in your environment variable. So runtime equal to runtime dot get runtime, and then exec is the method. Okay, we will finish here. Next tutorial we will see this synchronization.